Good evening, everyone. I was asked the question, what does the dream of Martin Luther King mean to me? And I came up with these thoughts. The dream means to me that I no longer have to have worries from sleep with fear of waking up to helplessness. It means to me that the imbalanced scale of justice has tilted back to equality by law in spite of individual selfishness. The dream means that my children can have the American dream of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And running that race can be evenly paced with others regardless of the color of their face. Dr. King dreamed of that day, and many sacrificed to the grave, bearing hope on their shoulders. Now from the fields of enslaved hands to the highest office in the land, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over.
All right now.
Dr. King's dream to me is an escalating alarm for me to wake up. His dream is a reminder that believing in a cause with faith and action can make dreams reality. The dream to me is solid proof that regardless of the opposition, if God is for you, who can be against you? Dr. King's dream is a charge to every person of color to not take the baton of mediocrity with the excuse of accepting it as the norm. Was Dr. King the first to have this dream? Probably not. Every person that has been oppressed, each man, woman, boy, or girl who experienced injustice firsthand and or to a loved one or relative has dreamed that one day that which that has been seen or experienced would come to an end, and every option to live comfortably and successfully in the United States of America is available to the Negro race as it is to those who have them comfortably at their leisure. So what made Dr. King different from any other that dreamed this seemingly impossible dream? Three things. One, despite the consequences of those who thought of making such an overture, he dared to verbalize it. Secondly, Dr. King, after verbalizing his dream and that seed began to sprout in his spirit, he fertilized and nurtured it with belief as he penned and spoke those words of his dream. Lastly, as he progressed from speaking it and believing it, he dared himself and others to take action by moving on the dream, and even at its earliest stages, the dream began to become a reality. But back to the wake-up alarm. Dr. King lived in the era of the dream, and we now live in the era of the awakening. His dream means that in this era of the awakening, we can yawn and stretch in the dreams to be realized. We are living in the dawn after Dr. King's dream, having made it past the night of oppression that spurned the previous day's experience into a slumber's vision, the dream with hope for tomorrow. To take us from the night of Dr. King's dream, through this dawn of the dream realized, and on through the day of the dream reinterpreted as an African American's opportunity of true equality, we must continue on. The dream, Dr. King's dream, means to me that from what was to what is to what can be, we must move on. You see, oppression and depression stems from our ancestor suppression, while daily we try to fight the digression. Yet it's my impression that some degree of aggression should be applied without second guessing. Treated inhumane, shackled and chained, taken from our homeland while other family members remain, excessive strain on the brain, some went insane. The question that bewildered them was why to this strange land we've came. Wronged and dismayed, they never ceased to pray. I can almost hear them say that God will make a way. Then came the day. The slave master came their way. He moved some in the kitchen with pots and serving trays. From the cotton fields to the kitchen, even then we had ambition. Upward mobility was our only intention. Yet despite the intention, some succumbed to the lynching, others whipped, constant wincing, but we stayed in contention. It has been a few hundred years, but look at us now. Have we forgotten those with the sweat on their brows, with the welts on their backs, and the shackles on their feet, the one-way trips across sea and those that hang from the tree? The land we helped build, it now beckons to us. Draw from her resources, come from the back of the bus. Take advantage of the educational opportunities that eagerly await. Lead out in corporate boardroom sessions, become heads of the state. We've come a long way, but still we must go on. If not for ourselves, for our children who must grow on. Thank you.
That girl, that's so slow.